We are recording. Everyone say just a little bit into the mic.
Just a little bit into the mic.
Just a little bit into the mic.
Just a little
Just
bit.
a little bit.
What did you say?
Say again, Jorge.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit into the mic.
Just a little
I didn't
bit.
hear you. Did you? I didn't. Did anyone hear?
Little bit of my life.
Give a little bit.
Welcome back to Milkhouse Podcast, episode 12.
Ooh.
We're on the season finale today. Can you believe we got to 12 episodes?
No. This is awesome.
This is very
I'm
awesome.
glad. I think it went by so fast though. So
It really
Yeah.
did, because I have some friends that come up to me and ask me about a certain topic we talked about. I have to actually remember.
Yeah.
So
Same.
Like, can you kind of elaborate on there? Because I'm become the same way.
exactly. just remind me. But this is a special episode because it's a finale, and we have a special guest with us. So this is a longtime friend, childhood friend, arbiter of the Milkhouse, part of the genesis of the Milkhouse,
You put
Brian.
the- you put the house-
Brian.
What does arbiter mean? That's a big word.
The one who started it all. Brian, welcome to the podcast, man.
Thank you for having me.
How
Happy
are
to
How
you?
does
be-
it feel to actually be in the studio?
I know he's here.
It would feel better if you were here, Jorge.
Ah,
Well, he's behind you.
That's what it is.
I know. I can't even see him because the monitor's not even facing
I was
me.
actually in a shower earlier thinking, like, you know what? I wonder how Brian's going to be. I guess it's weird, but I wonder how Brian's going to see Jorge.
Can we put a mirror on that wall?
Yeah.
You know what? I
well,
thought
you
about
can't
Brian
see
one
me,
day.
but I can see you.
That's right. I see.
All right. Next time I come up, I'll bring a second monitor. We'll put it on that wall.
There you go.
Yeah.
So how are
Good
you, my
idea.
friend?
I'm doing excellent. We just got back from Michigan to the. We went to the Tulip Festival.
Yeah, you were
this
telling me
weekend.
about that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Best thing ever.
Let's just say
Sounds like the best thing ever.
you could count the black people on one hand that I saw there.
So there was a mirror there, huh? That's funny.
Did it smell good though?
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, it was chill. There was a lot of traffic. But I mean, I just love going to Michigan, love being by the water.
Yeah.
Went to the beach, ate some good food, spent time with the family.
A lot of good food trucks.
Yeah, a lot of bad food. I mean, like, not like it didn't taste bad, but I mean, like hot dogs, burgers, elephant ears, fries.
Nothing out of
Yeah.
the ordinary. Yeah. Yeah, it's always a disappointment when they don't have the Food Network type stuff.
Mm.
You know, I feel like watching that back in the day, and then you actually go to a festival, and it's a big disappointment.
It's different.
Yeah. How's everybody else? Steph, how are you?
Doing good.
Kyle?
I'm good. Not too bad at all.
Good.
Happy
Jorge?
here.
Oh man, I'm doing great. I'm so excited, and I'm also really happy just because of like how far we've come. The fact that we're already on our season finale, it's great.
Yeah. It's really a dream come true, not to sound cheesy, but and Steph's right. This 12 episodes have flown by.
Hmm.
It's absolutely crazy.
Yep.
You were telling me the other day about your mini marathon you just ran.
Yeah, that was the weekend before last. I was looking back. I think it's the 7th time I've done it. So
Yeah,
It-
because you're a big time runner.
it wasn't my best time, but it was better than last year. I improved my time by like 15 minutes.
Dang.
That's
That's
good.
quite a bit.
Do you guys
So
do any running cardio?
I go to the refrigerator.
There you go. Counts.
no, not since I was very young. Like probably college.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
ran distance.
I don't really. I mean, it's not like like my favorite thing to do, but I love food, so running actually kind of helps.
It's about balance.
Yes, exactly. It's
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah.
It helps get rid of those extra calories, right?
Yeah.
I understand.
And how long is a mini marathon?
It's 13.1 miles. So a full marathon's 26.2. Half marathon's 13.1. I've done a couple full marathons. I'm doing another full marathon in November, but the Indy mini marathon is like it's like one of the best half marathons in the country. You get to run on the Indy 500 racetrack, which I can't remember if it's like 2 or 2.5 miles.
2.5 miles.
Yeah, so it's a
Super
good
cool.
portion of it. You basically start downtown Indy, kind of by the JW Marriott, run to the to Speedway, run around the track, and then come back. And a lot of people will. I don't know anything about IndyCar racing, but there's like you kiss the bricks or something is like a tradition
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen
at the
that.
racetrack. So like you're running on the racetrack and you get to the bricks and then people will stop and like get on their hands and knees and kiss the bricks. And so people are just trying to run past these people that are like down on their hands. I
Yeah.
almost like this year they had them like, people who are stopping for the bricks, go to the right. People who just want to keep running, go to the left. But last year they didn't do that. And I almost flew over somebody who was
Yeah,
crawling on their hands and knees down there.
yeah. It really, no point in the race would that be a good idea. I wouldn't think.
No.
There should be
But-
like get you disqualified type stuff,
Well, you're wasting time too. I'd
Yeah.
be afraid to get.
Yeah, I'm
Trampled
kind of
on.
like worried about him. Guy his size coming, just run right. It's gonna hurt, especially if you stop right in front of you.
Yeah.
I think there was like almost 18,000 people who finished this year, but over
Wow.
20,000 people signed up. So
That's not a bad
Wow.
finish, though. I mean, that's-
It's very cool.
it's like, I don't know why, but it's just my favorite weekend of the year. We my girlfriend and I, we usually just make a weekend of it. We stay down there for a couple nights, eat a bunch of food, and yeah, do the race. Go to the symphony afterwards.
sim-
Awesome. So how many times have you
orchestra?
guys done it?
I've done the Indy Mini 7 times. I couldn't even tell you when the first year. The first year I did it, I was probably like maybe 19 or 20.
Hmm.
And so I've taken, there's been some periods of time where I've taken off of running, and yeah, I'm trying to do it every year going forward now. So
I feel like
cool.
you definitely do.
yeah. And then my brother lives out in Philly, so I'm trying to make it a tradition now every year to do the Philly Marathon too. That's in
Ooh.
November, so it gives me an opportunity to spend Thanksgiving with them.
Yeah, you need
Awesome.
you need a sponsor.
And no, I run slow. I do like they give sponsors to people who are like actually good at running.
Yeah.
In the words of L.A.
maybe
Beast, it's a
if you're good
marathon,
at
not a race.
eating, you'll give the guy a sponsor that's good at eating who likes
Yeah,
running. I mean,
the
that'll inspire
runners-
everyone else.
The
you know?
runners can get the shoe sponsorships, and I can get like the Buffalo Wild Wings
There you go.
sponsorship.
There you go.
Yeah.
The night before we went to Kilroy's. Oh my goodness.
Dude,
You
Does
guys
it
have-
include beer?
Dude, Kilroy's is
Sponsor?
good.
have you had those breadsticks?
Oh yeah. No, you got me on it those years
Yeah.
ago. We used to go to Indy pretty often, and
It's
you're like, dude, you
insane.
got to get the breadsticks.
They're on another level. They're
Maybe
like
Bubba's Burgers will
you
sponsor
guys remember
you.
Bosco sticks?
Yeah.
It's like that, but like less bread, crispier, buttery outside, and way more cheese and pepperoni on the inside.
Yeah.
But we didn't just get breadsticks. We got like loaded tater tots. We got chicken wings, chicken fingers. And then like 2 orders of those breadsticks. We were so full. I didn't even eat breakfast before the mini. I just woke up and ran.
Yeah. You have glucose in your muscles.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I've seen eating challenges at Kilroy's, or is it Kilgore's?
Kilroy's. Yeah.
Kilroy's.
It's like Irish pub.
For like how many those sticks they can eat. But I do remember they're amazing.
So that's a good pre-run meal. Actually, it's probably not a good pre-run. I remember there was a girl I worked with who was also doing the Indy Mini, and I was like, so what do you eat before you run? I was like, oh, I don't like a granola parfait.
Mm-mm.
It's like, oh, cool. I'm going to eat like a pizza and a cheeseburger.
I'm burping that up. It reminds me of the episode of The Office
It must-
where Michael
Yes.
Puccini
Yes, for the fun run. Yeah.
She also probably runs like at a pace that's 3 minutes faster than mine. So
Hey, whatever works, everybody's built differently. So before we get into today's topic, which today's topic is a look back at Milkhouse history, we should play some 90s trivia.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you ready,
I want to.
everyone?
Yeah.
mm,
All
Yeah.
right, sorry.
Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, so this is the number of feet of gum in a roll of Hubba Bubba bubble tape.
Oh,
6 feet.
Dang.
yeah. Kyle's
Yeah, I
right.
was
Yeah, I know he's right. I have the answer. Yeah, it was 6.
Dang, Kyle.
Did you read this before?
Listen,
You did. You
I'm so
did.
tired of getting accused of this. I'm just gonna say yes. I've read them all.
He's
I
admitted he has
memorized them all.
integrity.
Yeah.
He doesn't read them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I just admitted that
Pretty quick.
I cheated.
That was very quick. I'm impressed. I was thinking 12 feet in my head.
It's actually, it says 6 feet, but it's actually 5 feet and 9.5 inches.
Typical.
Typical.
Always
They
short.
lies.
Just like a gallon of gas.
Right?
Well, good job, Jorge. No, Jorge. Jorge did not get that.
Hey,
I'll take
good
the
job.
credit.
Kyle,
Good job, Jorge.
I will totally take the
you'll
credit.
take the win.
If we had a point board, keeping score.
Gosh, it's not been good.
Yeah, it's funny.
So, Brian, you ready for the hot seat? You ready
No.
to take go back in time?
Well, when you say it like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you want to define what the Milkhouse was to you and what it meant to
So my grandparents lived in Upland basically for my mom's like entire life. And when my parents split up, my mom moved to Upland to be closer to her parents to help her out with, raising us. She worked, single parent home.
you? Mm-hmm.
So we lived across the street from my grandparents, and that house just happened to have a milk house on it. It was an old farmhouse, and the milk house, it wasn't. I don't think they milked the cows in there because the structure itself. If you were to see it, it'd be like, how would you even get a cow in here?
Maybe in
But
the
I
first
think-
part, but
But I think they stored the milk in there once they got it out of the cows, and even like before we fixed it up, we found like old glass like milk containers in the attic up there. It was like 2 small rooms, and I remember, like when you're a kid, like every kid's dream is just to have like a sick clubhouse,
yeah.
where you can just get away from your
Mhm.
parents, play video games,
Mhm.
do hard drugs. No, we didn't do that, but yeah, I mean, we kind of fixed it up. Like I think you mentioned on the podcast before how we threw carpet on the walls, the kind of insulate it.
So it was like I could not remember how did the opportunity come to you to turn that into the clubhouse, like the actual milk house? Because from my memory, we would hang out in your house, but
Uh-huh.
it just one day I feel like your grandpa gave you the green light or something, and you're like, "Hey, you want to help me
Funny
scrape
story.
paint?"
Funny story about that. He definitely did not give me the green light. And when we started fixing it up, I remember he came by and he was like, "I told you that you needed my approval before starting to work on this thing." I was just like, yeah, but I'm excited about it. And I just wanted to,
Yeah.
get it going. And, he got over it.
Yeah.
And we ended up hanging out in there a lot. So like growing up, I don't know, I was probably in 7th grade, maybe when we started hanging out there.
Yeah.
And throughout the years, sometimes I would move my bed out there, like when in the summer when it was nice out, and I would just sleep out there,
Yeah.
just be out there all day. And
Dude, no joke.
yeah,
Like,
sometimes it would be my bedroom.
yeah. Well, you had to put a lock on it at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, we we had a band that would practice out there, and so we had a lot of musical equipment out there. And at one point it actually got stolen. It got broken into, and we lost a lot of stuff. Never
But
got
none of you
recovered.
were a part of the band.
No,
You were just like renting it out.
I had some equipment out there.
yeah, Brian had. I feel like you were in several bands in high school.
Yeah, and off and on.
Yeah.
Yep.
I may have participated for fun if I showed up during band practice,
Sure.
but I don't
I
think
like
I was ever formally in one.
Gotcha.
Were you the guy in the background just playing like a tambourine or something?
Dude,
Yeah, that
The
or
bell
screaming.
shake, the
Yes.
tambourine shake, yeah.
growing up, James wanted turntables.
Dude, imagine where I would have been now if I would have got him.
A big hit from our childhood was Q Rashi. Remember them? Stick 'em up, stick 'em up.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
My mind is open.
Memory
My brain is
unlocked.
split open. Yes. Dude, I'm
And,
gonna have to look that up after
Oh
this.
man, we would listen to Linkin Park. Their turntables.
Lincoln
and-
Park. Yes, that was the inspiration for turntables.
Exactly.
I remember we were sitting on your mom's futon, and you're like, "Hey, mom, James might get turntables. Can you use some of your vinyl records to use?" And she's like,
Probably would have destroyed them, right?
Yo, yeah, scratch them
Yeah,
up."
probably.
Yeah.
So the process of renovating the interior, did you? How did you get funding for that? I don't remember. Like to buy the carpet for the walls, and did you carpet the floor in the actual
Yeah.
second space?
No. So it was just paint that we had left over from some other projects. It was the cheapest carpet you could buy at Lowe's. And then all the furniture came from dumpsters,
Yeah.
or like when university students would be moving out
hmm
and they just leave couches on the side of the road, we would take them.
So I have a lot of memories of dumpster diving,
Yeah.
but one of them specifically was to put stuff in the milk house.
Yeah, it was like every single year it was like, okay, it's furniture shopping season. So it's like maybe this year you didn't get, the
Yeah.
greatest couch, but you knew next year,
That's right.
somebody might be giving away something else. So
I
How-
find, yeah, I
yeah.
find a gold mine.
Yeah, we do. Sometimes we find great stuff.
yeah, TVs, lots of furniture. We went
Shoes.
through a couple refrigerators that we
Yeah,
found.
yeah.
Shoes. I never got.
Oh, I
never
got
did-
some shoes.
I
I got some
never grabbed
cleats
shoes.
too. How we never got bed bugs and athlete's foot and stuff. I
Yeah,
don't
No
know.
kidding.
It's probably because they sprayed for bugs on the campus. Like that was a normal thing in college.
That's a
The
good
bug
point.
You're a
man.
kid. You
Yeah.
really didn't think
Yeah.
about that. Like, it's outside. You're like, I don't care.
Yeah, you're probably good.
Yeah.
Now, in the pictures that you sent yesterday or today, the first picture you're all playing video games. Was that
No,
in the
that
milk
that
house?
was not in the milk house.
Okay.
Now
Because I was gonna say those walls.
I'm gonna ask around
It's a
for more
different vibe.
pictures. I
Mhm.
know the guy that sent them to me. His name is Nick. I know he's got more pictures, and I know he has video of us in the milk house. It was pretty funny. I remember that he'd always have his camcorder with him. But no,
Yeah.
this picture that I sent you, that's at Nick's house. So the
Okay.
guy that's sitting behind me, we were probably playing. It looks like 4 people are playing, so probably Halo or something.
Gotcha.
So, and then the other picture, that looks like a parade or something. I don't remember. But what do you think the axis was of why everybody hung out in the milk house?
My theory always was that, we like all of us went to school at Eastbrook, which was like out in the middle of the country, but technically it was in Marion. But
Mhm.
that school was for people who lived in Van Buren. Like maybe a couple people from Marion went there. Upland, Matthews. So where I lived was kind of in the middle of all that, and it was right next to the ice cream shop, the gas station that was 24/7.
Mhm.
Um, and honestly, it was like we could go out there and have no parental supervision, so
I wrote
people
that
would just come
down.
over. Yeah,
Yeah, what's amazing, we didn't do any drugs or alcohol.
Yeah, but I know
being underage still, but
some of the parents heard rumors that like, oh, that's the kid who has people come over. They do drugs in there, and it's just like,
Oh,
we just
jeez.
played Smash Bros. And
yeah, and
Yeah,
video
some
games
Super
and
Smash
hang
Bros.
out.
You can really that's a 4-player game right there at a minimum. So you can keep a tournament going like Mortal Kombat or anything.
Oh, we would play games all
all
night.
the time. For some reason,
Yeah.
I feel like I would watch them play games for all night, and I wouldn't even play. It was just that entertaining. The Super Smash Brother competitions are pretty intense.
Yeah, and
Super Smash Brothers is our drug.
Exactly.
it was for some kids, man.
It was. What do you miss most about it?
No bills.
Yeah, I could just exactly, like everything about childhood, basically. Just having less responsibility. But
Yeah, amen
simpler
to that.
times.
Simpler times, less worries. Because I definitely feel my worst day as a kid is not doesn't compare to as an adult. My to-do list is never ending. My responsibilities.
your worst day as a kid, it's like you make a big deal of it, and then looking back, it's like,
Oh yeah, it was the end of the world at that time. Like,
yeah.
oh, no one's ever gonna forgive me or like me ever again.
Yeah.
Or maybe like if you guys remember freaking out over something and your parents would like kind of like scoff, maybe like, you don't know half of it, buddy.
Yeah. We get it now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll get into some stories from the Milkhouse. And I will preface this. I know in the future we will have a couple people on that I know want to scream some of the stories that happened back in the day. But what do you think the fondest memory you have of the Milkhouse is?
The fondest
Mhm.
memory I have.
So here, I'll give you an example. My fondest memory or memories was staying up past midnight. Because remember, that was a big deal back in the day. Like, wow, we stayed up past midnight. Now it's a common occurrence with insomnia. But staying up late and playing Halo and eating junk food.
Funyuns and OJ. That was my go-to.
Yeah, I remember you loved OJ.
Man, heartburn central right there.
You're
Not
kidding.
back in the day.
You're not
Don't kiss
kidding.
a
You had an
girl.
iron stomach.
I mean, no kidding.
Wait,
Oh, don't worry,
together?
no-
That was it?
I know.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
I know. There was a protein in here. At least he had vitamin C, but Funyuns and OJ.
Oh, there were no girls interested. in me
Yeah, I
back
can
then,
tell.
So
You're
No,
not getting no
To a
kisses.
certain point, there was,
No.
yeah, there was no girls around.
I just need you to pause. How'd you come up with that combination? That is wild to me.
I don't know.
He likes the tartness and this.
Brian was
The
the
onion
first
is-
person I ever saw go into the gas station and buy those prepackaged sausages like hot links. I remember you go up to him, I'm like, "What are you doing?" You're like, "These are good."
I think it was probably I'm still this way. I want to try everything
Sure.
at least 4 times.
You do. I think as a kid, I thought, man, this guy is like just willing to do. He's not picky, which is
Well, I got
cool.
shocked by electricity once. I gave it 3 more goes.
Exactly.
So like, are you talking about like those pickled sausages that they got? in those
Yeah.
packages?
Well, he got
I think
like
it
the
was
hot
called like a
ones.
Tijuana Mama or something like that.
It was, yeah.
It was like
Whoa.
bright red.
Yes.
Yeah, those things are nasty looking.
You know, I'm sorry. I love those things,
I haven't
love
had them in a
them.
long time. I'm sure.
Oh.
but they give me terrible acid reflux.
But I do have
I've heard that.
less
food portion of
enjoyable
this.
coming out. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
Can you think of a fond memory though?
I don't know if I can think of like one specific memory that stands out, but I can think of like hanging out in there, and we had a lot of friends who worked at Ivanhoe's, the ice cream shop next door.
Yeah.
And they would get off work and just like walk over and then hang out like after their shift, or maybe we would go over there and hang out by their cars. I remember I mean, I know you got it listed on here, like all the pranks that we would do. I can think of one, and I think I probably shouldn't say his name, right?
You say his first name, not his last name.
So there, one of the guys, I don't even think he was really in our friend group, but he was chill. And there was one night where we were getting a bunch of people who were gonna come over, and so he came over. His name was Gary, and we were
I know
all
who this is.
we were all sleeping, or he was sleeping in the Milkhouse. He was,
Yeah.
you never want to be the first guy that falls asleep at the
Not
sleepover.
No,
Ever.
ever.
So he was the first one that fell asleep, and so he was sleeping out in the Milkhouse, and we just turned off the lights. We got real quiet, and then like everybody else went outside, and we had I don't know if it was like an app on your phone or if somebody had a flashlight, but we made it like look like the cop lights, like red and blue in the windows, and we had a spotlight. And I think we might have had like a megaphone that we had taken from the church or something. And we were like, he's in there sleeping, and we locked him in there, and we got on the megaphone, and we were just like, "Hey, open up! This is the police! You're in trouble! Get out of there!" And he jumped up so fast and was like, "Guys, let me out!" I think he started crying, like he got really scared. And when we unlocked the door, he opened it up, and we were just all outside laughing and rolling on the ground.
I remember
it
Nick,
was pretty
Excellent.
mean.
Nick telling me that story, and yeah, you guys were banging on the walls of the Milkhouse.
It was looking back, it's like that's so mean to do,
No, that's hilarious.
but it was really fun.
Don't ever regret that. That's an excellent prank.
Vicious.
I mean, we
This is
ran
good.
from the police a couple times.
Oh
too.
yeah, we definitely did. And well, one of my favorite memories I did tell on this episode 5. If you remember me texting you about it, there was a certain someone who stuck a permanent marker in.
Oh yeah.
So that one is I could laugh so hard
Archived.
to throw up. Yeah.
Yeah, he barely made it through that.
Yeah,
one,
I barely made it. I almost had to edit out like 2 minutes of me laughing.
I don't even
Um,
remember doing that, but
So my question is was the Milkhouse ever like a safe haven for like whenever you were getting into trouble and like you had
Absolutely.
to
Yes.
run for it? Yeah.
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 It was a rendezvous point.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one night a bunch of us were throwing water balloons at cars out by Taylor Lake. And I remember one of the guys being like, what are the chances that the next car is going to be a police car? And we were like, probably pretty low, right? The next car was a police car. And we drilled it with water balloons. So then we all ran into the woods. And I think I was in the woods for 3 hours, just laying on my stomach. I remember one kid lost his shoe. The police had found it and found the guy whose shoe it was and was just like, hey, is this your shoe? Also, you cannot come back to this campus anymore. And yeah, me and there's another guy I was hiding in the woods with. He called one of his friends to like come pick us up
Yeah.
and like get us out. But yeah, the meeting spot was like, hey, get back to the Milkhouse.
Yep. I remember those where we'd rendezvous there and we'd be missing like
Police,
3 people.
yeah, police never came there.
No, they didn't, which was odd.
Yeah,
Too bad.
they were lacking.
They were lacking. I remember laser pointing people at the restaurant across from your house. It's funny because they knew it was us, but they wouldn't venture over in the yard.
For some reason, I don't remember that, but that sounds
That and like calling the payphone.
Oh, the payphone I do remember. Yeah, that's a memory unlocked.
Just
for me.
mouthing off to complete strangers while they're trying to eat ice cream. That's funny. So speaking of running of the police, the scariest memory, mine was. Let's see if you remember this. I'm sure you do. It's hard to forget. At the local church where we always hung out at, where we attend a youth group too, we had heard the girls in our crew were having a sleepover at the church, and we decided we were going to disrupt it. We broke into the church, but finding out the girls, that was not the girls. It was a women's group from out of town. And basically they called the police. A group of we got split up into 3 different groups. Like some of us were hiding in the church, others ran from the police, and the other ones were held at gunpoint.
I don't think I was part of that.
You
one.
weren't part of that one?
I don't think I was part of
No,
that.
because I
group.
know that several cops showed up, and Nick being he was like, guy came out and drew his gun, and he's like, get on the ground.
I remember hearing about this though.
Yeah, and it was I from the group that ran. I took off. But he told me the police yelled at me to stop, and I just ran.
Because I thought you were going somewhere else with this story. Because I remember the girls were having a sleepover
many times.
Yeah, I remember one time when the girls were having a sleepover. We went there. We snuck into the church, and we were hiding in this dark room, and they were doing something in like the big auditorium or the gym or whatever. And I can't remember who it was, but somebody just threw a chair like in the middle of the group, and it didn't hit anybody, but it was just like we just wanted to like scare them for them to be like, where did this chair come from? Oh my God. And I just remember hearing this like blood curdling scream after the chair collided with the ground, and we just bolted. That's the only thing I remember. I don't remember there being I wasn't part of the group.
There was such a large group that event that I can't remember who was all there, but we definitely got split up. And the cops, of course, let everybody go once. Oh, you guys go to youth group? Okay, that's cool.
I dodged the police so many times because there was another incident. and this didn't happen at the Milkhouse, but it was with the same group of people who would hang out there. We were at his name was Brett.
Yeah.
And we were at his house, and they were doing prank wars between the guys and the girls, and I stayed back. I think it was because there was pizza rolls in the oven, but I was the only person that stayed back, and I remember being on the phone with them. I was like, "I'm gonna eat all 90 of these pizza rolls because you guys are not here."
I have that written down
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, so I did. It was another one of those moments where it's like I felt sick after eating too much. But
All 90 pizza rolls, you imagine?
they-
yeah.
90.
Holy crap.
they were all running around doing stuff, but they had paintball guns on them. So somebody had called the police saying that there were people running around in the woods with guns.
Paintballs and pizza rolls.
Can you
And-
imagine what the town cops are getting over the radio? They're probably thinking, my gosh, what's happening?
Yeah, there probably wasn't that much else to do.
No, we made
We-
them earn their
we-
checks, that's for sure. For at least 5, 6
We need to
years,
hire 3 more police officers for these kids.
especially Friday and Saturday. Yeah, it's going down. Let's see. I can't believe I did that. Memories. So I had breakfast with our buddy Keith. You remember Keith? Right?
Yeah.
Just this past weekend, it was great to see him. He's moving back, so I'm hoping to hang out with him quite a bit.
Okay.
But we were talking about some old Milkhouse stuff, and he said, "You remember we used to stay the night there sometimes?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Brian had the shelf with all these sleeping bags on it." And I was like, "Yeah, I do remember that." He said he would pick one up and he'd unroll it, and it was just filled with mouse droppings. And he said they would go outside, shake it off, and then use it.
I would.
No, he would.
You would?
Yeah, whoever
Yeah,
needed
I mean,
them.
it was an old shed. There
I
probably
know,
were a lot of mice
But
in
it's
there.
just amazing what we would do and not get ill. That's what.
It's what boosted our immune system.
That's right. We have the best immune systems.
Don't need
Can you-
doctors. You just need to sleep with rat droppings when you're a kid.
Can you think of anything?
Like, can't believe I did that. Memories.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's some things I can't mention on air here, but
You can always edit it out.
I don't know.
It would take you a long time, probably.
Anyway,
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'll throw this out there just because it just came to mind. But I remember for one of the pranks we were doing, we grabbed some roadkill. It was like a
Yes.
rabbit or something.
Yes.
And we wanted to put it in somebody's car, but we wanted to make sure it was like difficult to clean up. So we put that roadkill in a blender,
Oh,
Oh
Or
my!
blender.
and then we
Mm.
put it under. I think we put it underneath their seat
Oh my
in their
gosh.
car.
Oh my.
That was pretty brutal.
So
Yeah.
I remember
Okay.
I was there for like a third of that night.
Did you
and then
hate
I
these
went home.
people?
No, not
didn't
at
hate
all.
No,
them?
we were all
Okay.
friends.
No,
You
everybody's
sure?
friends.
You sure? Are you
It
positive?
was like guys
I'm
and
pretty sure you'd be
girls,
so
yeah.
you got someone you hate.
Did,
No.
did some of them hate me? Probably.
Yeah, after that one, I'm just saying, like, I'm just
So
wondering-
this is the
Word.
story I got the next day. So Nick was telling me this. He said that the girls were having like a potluck or something, and you found the dead rabbit, and then you went to Walmart in the middle of the night and you bought like a blender and like really shady stuff, and then you went back, and I think the goal was to put the potluck or the container at their potluck with the dead rabbit.
Ooh,
in
that
it.
wasn't. No, that was.
But
that,
you didn't successfully
That
do
might
that.
have been. I think that sounds like two completely different stories. Because I do
Oh.
remember there being that potluck at the church. I remember that, and there's. Let's just say there's stuff that happened that night. You're right. I shouldn't say on the microphone. I want to say that I didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah.
What I'm not mentioning, but
Oh, so let's go to entertainment. We played a lot of video games, walkthrough games, Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Halo, Super Smash Brothers. I specifically remember DDR, so Dance Dance Revolution. For those that don't remember that, you could have been a professional at that game. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
For sure.
Brian was a master at it. I
was-
bet you could still do it. Your
I would
eye
love to play it
coordination was
again.
incredible.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I got into half the stuff I got into.
I mean,
just-
we'd watch you play it for hours. And you eventually got one of those like metal pads instead of the soft ones.
That's why my calves got so big.
I know. You were meant for it. But you were so good at that. It was so fun to watch.
It probably would still be fun to play again. I always look for those arcade machines, and they hardly are
I always reminds me of
anywhere.
Grandma's Boy, the movie Grandma's Boy, when he, Nick Swartzen gets down on that. You've seen the movie, right?
I
I've
don't
seen
think
Grandma's
so.
Boy.
You
Yeah.
never seen Grandma's Boy?
Mm-mm.
I'm
You
trying to
guys are
remember the
kidding
scene.
me, right?
I'm trying to remember the scene. When he
Listen,
plays DDR?
hold on. None of y'all seen have seen
No.
Grandma's Boy?
I've
No.
seen
I
it.
have. Yeah.
Thank you, Jorge. Thank you.
Hello.
Humanity restored right there. I'm sorry.
Is this on mute? Yeah.
Or you say you have?
No, I
he's
have.
like 3
Oh.
times. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I've seen it.
I've seen it. I just don't
Okay.
remember that scene.
Okay. Sorry. I wasn't listening there.
You're fine. You were tapped in.
Sorry.
I saw you.
It's actually he's challenged to a DDR competition, and it's a great movie if you ain't ever seen it. But definitely, if you've done DDR, you should definitely watch that tonight.
I'm gonna watch that scene tonight. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah.
I saw you had you have Solid Snake written on here.
Yeah.
That's funny because earlier today when I was working out, I had that on the TV just in the background. I had somebody was playing through Metal Gear Solid 3,
Yeah.
which they're remaking. I'm pretty excited
Yeah.
about
Oh, I'm
that.
sure
It's
it's be
a
awesome.
great series.
Silent Hill. I remember we played a lot of scary games. I have one specific memory of me, you, and Phil. We stayed up all night playing Silent Hill: The Room, and it was terrifying.
Yeah, that was a spooky one.
That was very spooky.
I
I'm
did
glad there were
enjoy that
3 of
one.
us there.
Silent Hill 2 is good. Silent Hill 4 is good. Devil May Cry. You remember that one?
Yes, I do. Yep.
That's actually a good series on Netflix. They have one. Right
I
now.
just finished that.
Yeah.
The soundtrack
Yeah.
on that show
my
is
only
very
dis-
90s.
The only discrepancy I had was when I first heard Dante's voice. I was like, Dante, you always had a little bit different voice, but I mean, everything else was great.
Yeah.
And then I got used to that, but that was the only thing I could.
I really enjoyed that. Is that the same guy who did the Castlevania series too?
I couldn't tell you.
I need to look that up.
I don't know, it's good though. I liked it.
Highly recommend it. Yeah, but I mean the soundtrack's like Limp Bizkit and what's that? Cut my life into pieces.
Papa Roach.
Yeah, Papa
Yeah,
Roach.
Papa
That's
Roach.
it. He's in the soundtrack. I'll tell you what, you watch that show on the treadmill, you get fired up.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of times you send me Spotify tracks. I'm like, he's running right now. So pranks, we kind of went over some pranks, but I feel in the summertime, the water ballooning was our thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you remember, but we did it so often to the campers at the local university. They would almost expect it, and I think they finally did one summer because we got everything ready: water balloons, a water balloon launcher, squirt guns, all that stuff. So basically, just to describe it, they'd have camps there every summer, and that consisted of band camps, all assortment. And we just
Basketball camp, jump rope camp.
And
That was a big one.
we would just sneak in there and throw water balloons at them and all this kind of stuff.
I remember jump
I
rope
love it.
camp being a big deal because everybody thought Corbin Blue was going to be there.
Well, yeah,
Wasn't he in some jump rope movie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was a
the
Disney
Disney
Channel original movie.
Yeah.
It was called Jump or something. But yeah, they're like, he's going to come to the camp, and he did.
Simpler times, man.
But
Why did they
dude,
think that?
I don't
Just
know.
out of curiosity,
I don't
like,
know, but
why would
because
that
they
be?
did a show at the end of the camp, which was actually really awesome.
Never
But-
went to it.
You didn't go?
I don't think so.
Oh, I did. That was really good.
Maybe I did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was Corbin Blue and Kiki Palmer. It was in Jump In.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a good movie. But
Yeah, the water balloon launchers. Those
yeah,
things were
I
lethal.
just remember one summer it kind of ended because we like hit one person. They all like ran at us, like hundreds of people, and we just left our stuff. And I think that kind of ended there. Do you remember that?
Oh, you were about to get mobbed.
Yeah, like they knew we were coming. Because remember, we were called townies. You remember that
Yeah.
nickname?
Still are probably.
Yeah, people that live in the local area.
Somebody wanted to be called the Wet Bandits. I remember. I think it was Jordan
The Wet Bandits.
because I think that's what they were called in Home Alone when they were
Yep.
trying to flood the
Mhm.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember all the dance parties we had?
Yep.
Techno parties.
Techno parties.
Oh boy.
I remember. Speaking of Jordan, I remember him like he had a doorstop on the ground and he was headbanging. and he bashed his head into the doorstop, like the pointed edge of it, and he had a huge gash in his eye, and so now he's always got like on his eyebrow this little line
Really?
there. Yeah,
Oh,
like it's like a scar because he went too hard on that techno party.
too hard. I remember we would make all these mixed CDs of techno. They had like Darude, Aqua, Cascada,
Sandstorm.
Sandstorm.
Yeah, because you know what? It was all the music that came from DDR.
Yeah.
I think there was one like the Dark Black Forest. Yeah, it was. Oh,
Was
man.
Darude the one that did Sandstorm?
Yes. Yeah, I believe so.
Man,
We played it at nauseum.
Some
back in the
bangers,
day.
man. Some bangers.
So yeah, we spent a lot of time at the local church and youth group. We had a lot of dance parties there because our youth pastor at the time would just really give us free reign of the church, wouldn't he? He was very cool. I still talk to him
Very
today,
cool.
but we had a lot of good times there. But
We were trouble. I mean, we pushed him to the edge sometimes, though.
as an adult, I think about how much he probably had to cover for us that we never knew about.
Yeah,
I'm serious. Like the stuff we did would not be allowed.
because we would go to Florida every year for the summer. Right? Was it in the summer we'd go to Florida?
Yeah, yeah.
We'd take a double-decker bus. The whole youth group would go. And I remember one year coming back, and it was like the next weekend we had youth group, and he spoke to all of us. He was like, "I just want you all to know, I almost lost my job from the activities that went down in Florida." I don't know if it was like he was going to lose his job or if he was going to resign, but I remember like it was like not a funny situation. We were all just like, "Oh man." I
Yeah.
don't even remember like what it was exactly that we did, but it was just like our behavior does not represent this church.
That sounds about right, honestly.
God bless him, man.
He's a good man. Clyde, shout out to you. So, food and snacks. So, we talked about pizza rolls,
Ramen noodles,
ramen noodles. I really remember the dumpster pizzas.
dumpster pizzas.
So,
Yep.
the local gas station would dump their pizzas out after if they didn't sell, and we would hop on over to the dumpster and grab them.
We would hope that they didn't put the pizzas in the same trash bag they dumped the ashtrays in,
Yeah.
because then the pizzas would be no good.
No, and we would grab the pizzas not knowing how long they'd been there. And once again, I don't know how we didn't get sick.
I'm telling you, it boosted our immune system. That's why we're so healthy right
I
now.
remember one afternoon we just found some and they had clearly been in there for 24 hours or more.
Just pick the cockroaches
Oh
off.
my
Well,
God.
we turned on your grill outside the Milkhouse and I was like, "Are these good to eat?" And you like looked at it like, "Yeah, they're fine."
I remember one night when the girls were having a sleepover in the church, we got pizzas out of the dumpsters, and they were not above it either. We
Yeah.
would tell them like, "Hey, like we got pizzas, and they came from the dumpster. Do you girls want some?" They'd be like, "Yeah, let's get some pizzas." So we'd bring them over. Except before we brought them over, I took a big chunk of my hair and shoved it under the cheese.
Oh.
I think I remember that.
And then I remember them calling us and being like, "Hey, did you do something to these pizzas? I think everybody's getting sick." And I was like, "No." I was
Oh,
like,
they're good.
"We ate them."
We're good. Let's relax.
Yeah. Sounds like a you problem.
Did they retaliate at all?
Yeah, they tried to. They were
Okay.
I was
never.
about to say, yeah, they tried,
yeah.
but it wasn't.
This is just a lot.
It was just like
you
there
guys
w-
would be on a hit list so fast.
I didn't have. There was no line I wouldn't cross, which was a problem.
Sure.
The girls would probably like they would probably think of something and be like, maybe that's taking it too far. I never said that. I never said anything was too far.
That's obvious
We
with the
would-
rabbit.
We would steal
So-
people's cars.
Gosh.
I remember there were two kids, Kyle and Brittany, and they both drove the same car. And I remember Kyle's key for some reason worked on her car. Like it was some type of manufacturing mistake, but he was able to steal her car whenever he wanted to, which was pretty funny.
I remember a lot of that. They just drop it off somewhere and leave.
Yeah.
Another food comment. I know I've told on an episode before, but we had a grill out. I don't know, like a Friday night, hot dogs are cheap. We bought a bunch of them, grilled them, and then we put them on a tray inside the Milkhouse. And then the following afternoon, I came over. We were just hanging out. We went out to the Milkhouse and sat. And then the tray of hot dogs was still there. I was like, "Whoa, we forgot those." And we looked at each other like, "I wonder if they're still good to eat."
They're hot dogs. They probably last forever.
And we ate them. So we were fine. Once again, we got away with it.
So let me ask you this: what if would you ever let your girls hang out, like have like a clubhouse like that without supervision? Let them run around town. They're probably getting close to that age if they're not already.
No.
Right?
Like, I would love for my kids to have fun, but no.
It'd be a slightly different.
Like the dangerous things we did, the almost getting arrested, the stuff I think back and thought, wow, just we were just
it was a different time.
it was a different time too, where in the 90s it was slightly before that, but the 2000s were just it was safer. You could ride
Yeah.
your bikes around town and not worry about, you know, getting kidnapped or something. And
Mhm.
nowadays it's just not the same.
Yeah.
So I do feel for my kids that they can't have the same, freedom as we did, but I don't know, different time. So probably not. If
Yeah. I
my
don't blame you.
yeah, would you? Would you let your kids do that kind of stuff?
I mean, I don't even know. I don't have kids, so I guess I don't have to worry about it, but
I remember when we go out to eat, we'd always hit up buffets. That was a big deal back in the day, but they still have the deal. I think the Olive Garden Never Ending Pasta Bowl.
did they really?
Yeah, we used to partake in that. I think your record was 6 or something.
6 probably.
6 bowls, and
I can eat 2 big uglies. I know that.
can you keep it
Oh
down?
my gosh.
Yeah, Jorge, you want to tell them about when we went to Bub's Burgers and Fries, and it was Zionsville.
Yeah, so yeah, it was you, me, and Brian. We went there, and our all of our goals were to have two because we had already been there before. Which quick question: the guys that we saw in that picture, were all of those the guys that I saw the first time that we went? The
What?
picture of you guys playing video games.
No,
Mm,
no,
I
I
think
don't think
different
so.
people.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so yeah, we went there and we had already had a taste of the big ugly, and we're like, yeah, we got to try to get two next time. So
Shout
you,
out
me,
to
and
Bubs,
Brian,
man.
yeah, we
Let's get a sponsor here.
yes. So we went there, and like I think one thing that irritated me was the waitress that we got. You guys remember what she was saying like that whole time whenever we were like, yeah, each of us want two, and she's like, oh my gosh, that's so
She was very
disgusting.
Yeah, she
judgy.
brought us buckets out,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Well, hang on here."
She's like, "That's so gross. I cannot believe you guys are." It's like this is not how you sell this product.
Hey, I didn't make the food challenge. I just showed up to do it, okay?
Right.
Like I always say, don't hate the player, hate the game, you know? You don't
Right.
like serving people big uglies, get a different job.
Right.
Give me a waitress who respects the challenge.
Right. Exactly. So I think the three of us like pretty much inhaled the first one.
The first
And
one
then
was
it was
easy,
the
right?
second one. Do what?
The first one was easy, right?
Yeah, the first one was really easy.
Yeah.
I remember even James like giving us all the nod and being like, "Yeah, we pounded that down." And so we're all moving on to our second one, and I just remember like I took like maybe just a few bites of the second one, and I immediately started getting fatigued, and I had a really bad feeling in my stomach.
Were you sweating?
I was sweating, but dude, but I don't know how far did you get into your second burger, James?
Like 3 bites, and I was gonna
Yeah.
it was creeping up to my throat, like I was gonna puke everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, I remember that we downed the first one, no problem, and then the second one, it was like I just I couldn't go on. But you
Yeah.
did it.
Just
But
barely. Very
Brian
painful.
Brian like soldiered on.
Yeah, that was impressive though. And your girlfriend was there, and she was like, "Wow."
Yeah.
So
I don't
you
think
can tell us.
I'll always remember that because it was the most pain I've ever been in after or as a result of food. I'll say that.
Yes.
Yeah, tell us
There
about
have
it.
been people that have died from eating too much.
Yeah, it was. I think the quantity wasn't so bad, but it was the burger. So they used a really, I don't know what ratio it was, but it was a really rich ground beef.
Listen, that's how I want to go.
And then
If that's how people can die, that's how I want to go. Is food coma.
Fair enough.
and the bun had a whole stick of butter on it, like
My
melted on it.
gosh.
It hit you pretty hard. And did you get condiments on your or like lettuce, tomato, and stuff?
Probably.
I think I
Yeah,
just went
because
with
they make
cheese.
you eat the condiments.
If
I might have
you
got
get them,
yeah, if you get them. I think maybe I got one with and one without. I can't remember.
yeah, maybe.
I blacked out.
Blood sugar's through the roof.
Yeah, this
How
is
are you
making me
feeling like
hungry.
right at like
I'm gonna go get some
because
fun.
I remember James wanted to go for a walk after that. And I just remember thinking, are you serious?
Yeah. I always want it when my belly's full, that
Yeah,
walk always
walking
sounds
help.
good.
Does it?
To me it does.
Yeah.
For me, I was suffering.
gotta
I
keep
was
it down.
suffering through that walk. Oh man.
What are some things that you look forward to the summer vacation? Now, as adults, we really don't have, unless you work in education, you probably don't have summer vacation anymore.
Like what do I look forward to now?
No, what would you look forward to then?
Oh, well, like I said earlier, we would always go with the youth group to Florida for like a week, I think, right?
Yeah,
We'd stay
it
in
was
like
about a
we'd
week.
stay on like this like lake camp and we'd stay in these cabins. Um I'll tell you one thing I didn't look forward to is like every other year my grandpa would make me repaint the Milkhouse. And that would involve like scraping the paint off the outside and then repainting. Yeah, it was always white. We just always repainted it white.
hmm
And I always dragged my feet doing that. Just didn't I was just so lazy. I didn't want to, I didn't play like sports or anything growing up. I wanted to get home from school, play video games, watch anime, hang out with my friends. I just wanted to be goofy and silly. I didn't want any responsibilities.
I get it, dude. Well, we worked together in high school too, back in the day.
At
So,
the dining commons.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
What about you, Steph? What'd you look forward to when you were younger?
Just not being in school.
Yeah.
Right?
It
Yeah.
was the worst.
School sucks,
Yeah.
man.
I
It
just told
does.
someone today I had to do summer school 1 year, and that was
Why?
because like I wasn't too concerned with grades. Like I was, more of the social aspects. So I think I flunked science or something like that. So I had to do summer school 1 year, and
How long was
just
summer
was-
school?
I don't know, too long.
Too long.
I think it was a couple weeks. I don't know.
Mm.
So I mean, we just did whatever in the summer. So I did like that. There really wasn't a schedule or anything. We came to Indiana a lot in the summer. So
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
yeah, we did a youth camp in June and then spent time up here in this area and then had another camp. Just anything. So
Yeah.
I like the free reign. I like not having a schedule or
Yeah.
anybody that was really gonna check on me.
Yeah,
So-
the first day back at school was always like
Oh man.
so hard.
It was. And then you wanted to be homeschooled every time, but I think that would have been just as miserable. I wouldn't have done my work. I know.
Yeah. Yeah. I would have fought it too, even
Yeah.
though I just dreaded school.
Except for though, the beginning of the year meant soccer season was starting. So that was helpful. I didn't hate that as much, but any other part was stupid. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle, what about you? What'd you look forward to?
What, summer vacation? Just being out of school, and I mean, I never had to go to summer school ever. That was never
Did you guys do like family vacations where
Yeah.
you would travel places?
just mostly me, my mom, my sister. My dad would go every now and then, but really, it was just me, my sister, my mom that would go. We go to Kings Island or somewhere, and then a lot of times just stay at home and just play around with my friends. That was my summer vacation, like you said, video games and free time.
Yeah.
Like I'm just saying, I was lucky, and I never got. I mean, I didn't fail any classes, but it was besides Spanish. I did
was
not
one
like
time.
Spanish, so
Spanish class was easy.
Yeah, but we had like sampler parties and like if
What parties?
What?
so they call them sampler parties. So
Sampler?
being samplers. So
Like a
being
swingers thing?
Mexican, we'd be having or Spanish, we'd have Mexican dishes or whatever. So
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
so we would at the end of every trimester, I was like, well, it's kind of a good incentive to have to take this class again. So yeah.
I just remember growing up and like people be like, "Oh yeah, I can't hang out because my family is going to like
Yeah.
I don't know Costa Rica
Arkansas,
or
yeah.
California."
That always sucked.
My family never did.
Yeah. What about you, Jorge?
Uh, for me, it was mostly like looking forward to going to swim or just meeting up with some buddies and just running wild. Like I mean, we would always go on like these walks through golf courses at night, and we would wander all over the place, and we would try to look for an opportunity to attract police attention. Um,
Wandering
and those
around
were always
golf courses at night.
like that was just kind of part of I guess just kind of part of the thing. I mean, um,
Sounds awesome.
It
yeah,
does sound
we
fun.
really enjoyed doing that. And then I remember ding dong ditching was like the foundation of like what we did. Um, in fact, I remember one summer night we were going around the neighborhood, and the entertaining aspect was whenever like you had those people that would come out of their house to investigate. That was the most fun, but also the most terrifying because you could hear them being like, "I'm gonna find you," I'm
Yeah.
gonna, and, they had their flashlights and everything, and they were looking for us, and um, that was always such a good time. And then also going to, we were also like getting into houses that were like in the middle of being built too, um, or like we would hop fences and like there would be obviously people that left their dogs outside, so we'd hop the fence and like we'd run into the backyard and try to like run from the dogs and things
No,
like
that
that.
scares me. Dogs
Yeah.
scare me. I don't run out by where I live because of the dogs.
Yeah. But that was always a really fun time. And it did suck like whenever we did have a friend that was like, "Yeah, my family's gonna go here," or something like that. Like we won't be here all summer or whatever because we got a family trip, and that always sucked whenever that happened. I don't think I ever really did. I don't think I ever really went on any like summer trips or anything like that. At least not that I can recall.
Summer camp.
Yeah.
Summer camp was fun.
Did summer camp a few times, but yeah, even when I was in high school and I worked in the summer, I still felt like I had a really good balance to life. Like I could work and then I still had plenty of time to hang out and do stuff. I don't know. It was a really rich time and it wasn't as depressing.
Well, when you don't have to pay bills, life is a
Yeah.
lot grander.
Right. All the
Simpler
money you make,
times.
you can use for whatever, buying CDs or,
Yeah, literally more
Yeah.
grand.
yeah. So to wrap this up, Brian, we appreciate you being here.
Wrapping up.
Yeah. What
We just got
advice?
started.
That's how it
we'll
goes.
continue this with in the future, but what advice would you give young people on how to truly appreciate and make the most of their time?
Hmm. Oh gosh, I didn't prepare for this. I don't know. Don't do what I did.
Here, Steph, we'll start with you. What advice would you give people, young people?
Uh, it's so great when you're young. Don't try to rush through that to hit the milestones of 16, 18. It's just those are the good days. Enjoy it. Um, I don't know. Don't rush it.
Kyle?
No one's perfect. Don't expect it. Don't try to put up any expectations from. I should say, don't try to be who you're not. Just do what you just be you and have fun, and don't do anything too dumb. Some
Yeah.
things you can't regret.
I would say maybe just don't take yourself too seriously. I remember
Exactly.
having a lot of friends who, I mean, like I never got bad grades.
Mhm.
But like there are a lot of kids now who just think that they have to like ace everything. They got to get in
Mhm.
this one like particular school. And it's like looking back, that stuff doesn't matter at all. Like a lot of people
Mhm.
don't even like it's important to get a degree for a lot of people and that's fine, but a lot of times you don't even use that degree. And I mean, it's great if you know what you wanna do in your life and you wanna, follow a specific course, I think that's great. But if you
Mhm.
don't know, don't beat yourself up for it. Just enjoy the time that you have, and,
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's important to not take yourself too seriously. Try a lot of new things, try everything at least 4 times. That's what I always tell people. Um, yeah, I don't know.
It's good.
I think that's great advice. I think a lot of younger folks need to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they have a lot of pressure. I mean, I felt a lot of pressure when I was 18. Like, hey,
Mhm.
go to college. You only have so much time to remain undeclared, and then you have to pick something. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And you're competing with yourself and others. Like if I think that's the worst part, and I think you hit on it. You're following everyone else's timelines, and it can get you in such a trap. And so for that time, you're like, okay, I'm not passing this class. I'm not doing that. I don't care, but they're spending all night doing homework, and I'm not doing that. I don't
Yeah.
know. And at the end of the day, you're right. Maybe you're going to use your degree, maybe you're not. Um, I wish that maybe someone would have said, "Hey, you don't have to go to college as soon as you're out of high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just chill for a moment. You'll be fine." But, you know
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Because I hated high school, and I was like, I'm not gonna enjoy college anymore.
right,
The
but that's what
course load is
everyone
even
did,
higher. Yeah.
right? Everyone did it, and you were gonna miss
Yeah.
out if you didn't, and, um,
My
Yeah.
brother was
Right.
always in all of, like, the AP classes, and, um, I always just kinda tried to follow in his footsteps, and at one point, I remember it caught up to me, it's like, "Oh, this calculus is not for me," you know?
mhm,
Yeah.
And that's okay, like, if it's not for you, it's not a big deal, or you can try it again, later, but,
Mhm.
like you said, a lot of kids put a lot of pressure on themselves, or society does, or,
mhm,
there's a lot of things that, make it harder to be a kid that we didn't have growing up, so,
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I would actually say, like, to a lot of parents out there too, like, parents really shouldn't try to force their kids into doing stuff that they don't wanna do or put that pressure on them because that was also a big thing as well. And I would say that a parent should help their kid explore options as to things that they might be interested in. But if you clearly can tell that your kid is just like not interested in doing what you want them to do, then help them. I mean, just try to help them find those avenues, get the resources, and like just try to help them like figure things out on their own because forcing them to try to do things that you want them to do really like puts a it really puts a really it restricts their options,
Yeah.
and then they end up thinking like maybe they don't know what they want to do or like maybe they can't do something. So I would say help them find something that they are interested in rather than hounding them for what you want them to do.
Yeah. It's almost like the parents are under the same peer pressure as well to have
Yeah.
their child, oh, my child's going to such and such, and
Oh,
they're
yeah,
gonna
some
major like it's
families
a
are like
bragging,
that.
yeah, like, oh, they're gonna be an accountant. So no, I think that's all really, really good advice.
And it can drive a wedge between, the kids and the parents' relationship.
absolutely,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for
absolutely.
sure.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff. But
All you
oh,
parents out there, stop stop sucking.
they mean well, but
But do better.
I speak as a non-parent, by the way.
so before Jorge takes us out here, Steph, do you want to make an announcement to the listeners?
I do. We are super pumped to start season 2 off with the video recording, and we will be on TikTok, and we're on there now, so you can follow us on Milkhouse Podcast Crew.
Is it Milkhouse Podcast 25?
It is.
All right.
Yes.
on TikTok.
Yep. We'll be up there, and the guys will be doing some fun TikTok dances, scenes. In case you're wondering, they just found this out for the first time.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
news.
actually
That's
the first time I got a dance.
I saw
I
Laura's
can think of
face.
one person that would love to do that. Rhymes with Smorshme.
Oh yeah, he's
But,
for sure. So we're excited. So that means it's going to be recorded on YouTube as well. So
Yeah.
follow us on TikTok.
All I want is my dignity.
Excited.
Get out your Dance Dance Revolution
Yeah,
pads.
it's gonna be good. I think we're gonna need you for that too. We'll
yeah,
get
you want to do some DDR?
Yeah, I'd love
Shake
to.
that
Not
body.
bring it back. But
Yeah.
yes, we will be back.
And we'll be back on June 8th. So we're going to take a 2-week hiatus to get all of this stuff going. And so June 8th will be the next time our show is out after next week's episode, after
Yes.
this week's episode. So
Yes. So
we're
yeah,
excited.
thank you for those who have stayed with us all this time.
This is
And-
a great show to listen to if you're going on long runs. I just want to throw that out there. Usually when I end up listening.
I think that's the best, and drives too. I'll always turn it on when I'm driving. So
Mhm.
it's great.
Yeah.
So 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Unbiased.
All right. Well, that was another episode with the Milkhouse crew. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what you heard, please don't forget to follow, leave a review, and share with your friends and family. Peace out.
See you soon.